Well, good morning and welcome to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Thanks for joining us. February the 26th, 2023. We are live here at the Love 105 studio, Love 105 FM studio every Sunday morning for the Minnesota Real Estate Show, hosted by Mike Overson, Luminate Home Loans, Scott Wolmering, myself, Ryan O'Neill of the Minnesota Real Estate Team, Remax Advantage Plus. Appreciate you being here. Hope your weekend's starting off well. This is a live show. It's interactive. It's fun. We welcome your questions, comments, thoughts on the social media stream anytime throughout the show. Wherever you're catching us, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you might be. Thank you for joining us. Every Sunday morning, we're here for questions, comments, thoughts. You guys ready for a fun show? Absolutely.
Yeah, should be good. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Like Ryan said, this is the Minnesota Real Estate Show on our new station, 105.1, 105.3, and 105.7, depending on where you're on the Twin Cities. We are going to talk everything real estate related. The spring market is upon us.
Here we go. We're going live on air, Love 105 FM. Thanks for joining us, 612-294-6949. Good morning and welcome to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Thanks for joining us here Sunday, February 26th. We are live here at Love 105 FM every Sunday morning for the Minnesota Real Estate Show, hosted by Mike Overson, Luminate Home Loans, Scott Wolmering, myself, Ryan O'Neill of the Minnesota Real Estate Team, Remax Advantage Plus. 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Sunday mornings, we're here for your real estate questions, comments, thoughts, a lot to talk about. This is a fun show, an interactive show. And again, you can join us by phone or text, 612-294-6949. We're here in studio, and I've got to welcome on co-hosts, Mr. Wolmering, Mike Overson. Good to see you guys. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, good to be here. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Like Ryan said, this is the Minnesota Real Estate Show. We are live and local. We just got a comment online, which you can definitely follow us on any of the social media. James is listening again while he's running a half marathon at Disney World.
Wow.
So very nice. Appreciate it, James. Good luck in the marathon. We talk everything real estate related here. So anything mortgage related, real estate related. At the beginning of the show every week, we're going to go through kind of the numbers about what's going on out there right now in the real estate world, and we'll get into those in a little bit. You can join us, 612-294-6949. You can either call us or you can text us to that number with any questions. Or again, if you're following us on any of the social media feeds, just type your question in and we'll answer it.
Yeah, good morning. And Mr. Jared Havens in studio with us. Jared, good to see you there, young man.
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here on the new station.
Jared Havens is here. And Mike, always a pleasure. You've got your Celsius in hand, your early morning drink.
Yep, ready to rock. Too much caffeine for you, though, Ryan, it sounds like in these, but it's about right for me.
Right, Scott?
It is. Well, Ryan has so much coffee during the day. He gets plenty of caffeine. For those of you out there that are going, God, it's quiet in that studio. Ryan and Kathy brought me in a pillow
Yes, he did.
to have in front of my microphone so that I don't bang on the desk when I talk.
Isn't that very
Very
thoughtful?
sweet. She's always thinking about Cubby's a huge fan.
Yeah, we thought it'd
she
be kind of
loves
fun for Scott here. We are super excited and happy to be here with our friends at Love 105 FM in studio. They've just got a great setup that Jay Philpott and his team have done. And so we thought we'd include just a nice kind of a softer pillow, Scott, just to maybe bring out the softer side of you in 2023.
I'm not sure there is much of a softer side, but if it's there, it'll definitely be brought up.
It looks very cuddly. If you want to take a look at it, go on Facebook and find us at the Minnesota Real Estate Show, and you'll be able to see this nice cuddly pillow that Scott now has.
Yeah, Scott. Hey, we do like in the first segment to do a real estate update, a mortgage update, what's going on in the Twin Cities. Maybe you are a prospective buyer, seller, real estate investor. Maybe you're just interested about the market, wondering what's going on. Again, we're a local real estate show here. We are in the industry of real estate, mortgage, credit, and we comment on all things happening locally here nationally as well. Mike Overson, Luminate. What's going on? Mortgage update for folks.
Well, I got good news and I have bad news for you guys today. I'm gonna ask you guys where you want to start.
Let's start with the bad.
The bad news.
See, I'm always good for that. But go
This
ahead.
guy likes dessert
The
first.
softer
like
side is coming out
It's
already.
right. I like dessert first.
All right, the bad news. Let's talk about that. Let's look at interest rates. So if we go back to February 2nd of this year,
Okay.
right, 24 days ago, rates were down. I was locking a lot of loans at 5.875, right, the high fives. We hadn't seen fives for a long time.
Yeah.
We brushed into the fives, and it was good. Very active, a lot of applications coming in. You could just feel that it was busier. Fast forward to today. Now we're closer back to like 7%, right? So 6.75 to 7% now. So in the span of 24 days, we go roughly from a 5.875 up to, let's just say a 6.875. So we're a full point higher today than we were back on February 2nd. Most of this is caused by inflationary measures, right? Inflation and stuff like that. Not all that's the main cause. So it's one of those things where, we see it and we feel it. Interest rates do kind of affect the activity that we see on a daily basis or weekly basis, even monthly basis there. We were very active February 2nd as far as applications coming in. It did decrease just a little bit. I do think it's just a blip on the radar. Inflation is still heading in the right direction. It's just not heading there as fast as the market wants it to. And that's why interest rates floated back up a little bit. But it should be a blip on the screen here. It should reverse, expecting by the end of March, we're going to be back down probably around 6%.
How about some good news, Mike?
Good news.
Yeah, give us some good news.
FHA has lowered their mortgage insurance premiums.
I saw that.
So FHA now, the monthly mortgage insurance that you pay on FHA, for those that don't know, FHA just charges a flat fee. Everyone pays the same rate of mortgage insurance on their loan. So if you have an 800 credit score, you're going to pay this rate. If you have a 600 credit score, you're going to pay that same rate, right? So they have lowered that now 30 basis points. It was 0.85, now it's 0.55. So what does that mean? That means that on a $200,000 house, your mortgage insurance used to be about 170, and now it's closer to 110.
Wow.
So that's good news there. VA has also lowered their upfront funding fee. So
Okay.
VA loans has a funding fee on there. They have lowered that premium on VA loans as well. So now it is a little bit more affordable there and a little less costs on the FHA loan side and the VA loan side.
Mm.
Yeah, it's interesting when you say 5.875 and you start to think about that as being a good competitive rate again. Where if you go back a year ago, I think what are we in February something? If you go back a year ago, I think rates were at 2.8%.
Yeah,
Wasn't this about the lowest? I remember 2.6 or 2.8.
2.8, and that was probably that was closer to like the beginning of January of last year. At this point, they started kind of creeping up a little bit. But we were still probably 3.5.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and and people, they got in. We had so many refis that were done when rates dropped. Obviously, the activity level was through the roof. And then when everything kind of creeped up, everything had slowed down, and we're just starting to come out of, I would call it about a 6-month slowdown,
Sure.
where rates went from, 2.8 to 7.5, all activity stopped. We creep back down into the fives, activity, ramped up again. And I think we're going to see that even with now, because I think we were talking about last week, the median sales price in the Twin Cities went from, I think it was like 384 a year ago to like 340 and some change right now. So about a 10% correction in home values, which makes sense. When rates go up, people only can afford what they can afford. And so the housing prices had to come down a little bit, and they have.
Yeah, let's dive in here. A real estate update in the Twin Cities. This is comparing year over year. New listings, new homes for sale in the Twin Cities down 22% this past week. There were 855 new properties that came on the market. Pending sales down 22%, 713 accepted purchase agreements this past week. And then the overall inventory was up about 15%. It is 5,647. Again, 15% increase year over year. Interesting. I thought I would share this as well. They came out recently that said that the median age of owner-occupied homes in the country is currently 40 years. This was done by the 2021 American Community Survey. And so what this means, they said, they went on, they said, among owner occupied homes, nearly half were built before 1979, and only 10% of those houses were built 2010 or later. And so the commentary, guys, is that America's housing stock continues to age with a limited supply of all types of homes right now, but especially new construction. Thought that was really interesting. Only 10% of the housing stock being new construction. Mike, you got any thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, we've seen it there. I mean, look at the cost to build a house. You know, I mean, can a builder even reasonably build like a starter home
No.
anymore?
No.
You can't build a house in that starter home price point anymore. So all the new construction is, I mean, what's the lowest new construction you would see here in any of them outer ring metro suburbs?
Well, if you take this, so take a suburb like Farmington, okay, which is a relatively inexpensive place to it would be the equivalent to like an Elk River if you're going north, something like that. So Farmington has slab on grade villas. So these are 2,600 square feet, 1,300 on the main, 1,000 going over the garage upstairs. Basically 3-bedroom, 2-bath villas. So no basement, just slab on grade. And they start in the high fives to, 650 range. So think about that. You're buying a 2,500 square foot house without a basement, typically 2-car garage, and new construction there in the 600 range. Just for people that, were around back in, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, back then you could buy a 6,000 square foot home for, $500,000. So yeah, the cost of construction has gone through the roof. People still love new, so they'll bite the bullet and they'll do it. But what I always tell my clients is eventually you have to sell that, and you are not new construction. When you sell it, it's an existing home.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting. Again, as you're listening to the show, again, this is the Minnesota Real Estate Show every Sunday morning, 8 to 9 a.m. There is across the Twin Cities right now a huge shortage of inventory. If you have remotely considered selling your home or selling a property right now, there is just again very much lack of inventory all over, all areas, price ranges, styles of homes. Really across the board. Agents from all the companies will tell you they have a number of buyers right now, but nothing for the buyers to buy. So it's just an interesting time. And Mike, I know that you're hearing the same thing with all your pre-approvals you've got out there.
I mean, it pretty much every deal that I've written a pre-approval letter on over the last 3 weeks been in multiples.
Yeah.
So we see it's multiple offers again, and it's one of those things where, we look at last year, if you got rates in, at 3% or 3.5%, it was so easy to just go over list price because your payment didn't change that much.
That's right.
I can go 10, 20, 30 grand over. My payment's only changing by $100 a month. I can easily do that and my payment's affordable. This year is going to be a little different just because interest rates are higher. So now as you go, 10, 20 or 30 grand over list price, your payment's going to move more. But we're still going to see it.
Well, and think about that. You were so we've already established, and this is just a very broad stroke, excuse me, that we've seen about a 10% price reduction. So 384 last year was the median sale price. Now it's 340. So that's about $40,000. So that's about 10%. Now, obviously, across the board, it is probably more in lower priced homes. So what you paid last year, 500. I would make an argument that this year in outer ring suburbs, you're probably paying more in the lower fours. And so we've had that reduction, which does offset the interest rate a little bit. And I've said this, over the last 6 months, it's actually a better time to buy because you are buying the value of the home. If you were already 10% higher last year, and then you had to write 50 grand over to get a house, well, in theory, you're writing 15, 20% more than the home is even worth just to get a house payment. And a lot of people did that.
Yeah, this time we like to feature some of the listings with the Minnesota real estate team, Remax Advantage Plus. Bruce Williams has a great one, Mike. This is up in Maple Grove. It's 8983 Sawgrass Glen, priced for $239,900. It's got a 2 in front of it, which is great, $239,900. It is a 2-bed, 2-bath, 1-car garage townhome. Very nice updates, and it's got a new price as well, 239.9 for 8983 Sawgrass Glen in Maple Grove. Be sure to check that out. Guys, we're up against our first break already here at the Minnesota Real Estate Show.
Let's throw the question out before the break.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so every week we like to do a non-real estate kind of fun question. We'd love to have your input on this if you're listening on air or if you're following us on social media. So the question this week is if you could have a superpower, what would that superpower be? And to make it a little bit more fun, maybe try to think of something that's a little bit, not flying, not strength, but maybe something that's a little bit unique. What would be your unique superpower if you could have it?
Yeah, good stuff here at the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Appreciate you joining us. Excited to be on Love 105 FM. We welcome your phone calls and questions, comments by text or phone. 612-294-6949 is how you can join us. 612-294-6949. We'll be back after the break. Thanks for joining us on social media. We appreciate it. Superpowers. Jared Havens. Good to see you, man. This is your radio debut on Love 105 FM.
Yes, it is. I'm loving it.
How are you feeling?
Really good. I didn't even need Celsius.
Yeah,
Just
you got no
8 0.
Celsius. No Celsius.
Yeah.
That's good,
No
man.
coffee.
Yeah. Jared Havens, awesome partner with Credit Life. Credit Life does an awesome job. You guys are doing a great job in this market, Jared. A lot going on.
Yeah, there really is. I mean, everything that we're discussing here today, this morning, to me, like the first thing I think about is opportunity. And people that have been sitting on the sideline, especially if they're like, let's say they're in a lease for another 6 months to another year.
Yeah.
I mean, if they were to really start tackling and improving their credit scores, I mean, they're going to have a lot of opportunity going back into the market.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. So that's my message always is be proactive, get after it now, because once you're able to move forward with something, you're going to be in the best position to do so.
Yeah, it seems like though for credit, I know a lot of people, the hesitancy is just bad things have happened, so you don't want to look at it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I always let people know it's like two things really. One, there's typically an event in your life that like it could have been divorce, medical, job loss, things like that. Usually an event has led to bad credit. And that's a big one. And then a lot of times people, they're shy to talk about it, because they're not necessarily proud about it. But when it comes to us at Credit Life, when we go through our consultation, when we're helping people, just view us as like a doctor. You know what I mean? Like we're not judging at all. We're there to empower you, but really we're there to solve the problem.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to. And we solve it, and that's what people love about it. And that when they're done, I mean, we talked about this the other day, like literally I have people tell me all the time, they're like, oh, I wish I would have done this sooner,
Sure.
But they still had that sense of relief
Yeah.
that they're actually doing something now. You know what I mean? So it's really powerful stuff.
We like your beard.
Thank you.
Superpower. Has anyone got one hot on the brain here? Scott, you got yours hot on the brain? We can wait to go live on air. Mike's thinking too, I can tell. Question of the week was superpower. What is your one superpower that you would want? That's a good one.
I can tell mine.
All right.
So my superpower would be I would like to be able to see the future 5 minutes ahead. So think about that. Every horse race, every roulette spin, every end of every football game.
Here we go. We're going live on air.
Doing.
Hey, welcome back to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. We appreciate you joining us again by social media or here at Love 105 FM. Excited to be here again. The Minnesota Real Estate Show has been on here in the Twin Cities for over 15 years. And again, excited to be here at Love 105 FM. 612-294-6949 is how you can join us by phone or by text. We've got a caller here. Sounds like David of Rosemont wanted to share his superpower. David, thanks so much for calling the Minnesota Real Estate Show. David, do we have you there? I know we're kind of working through it right now, but the questions was all about superpowers. Scott, as we wait for David, you shared yours.
Yeah. So my superpower, if again, kind of an unusual superpower, but I'd like to have the ability to see the future 5 minutes ahead.
Oh,
And ever since I was a kid, I always thought, wouldn't it be cool? Like if you're at the horse races, you'd know you'd know the winner of that race. If you're in Vegas, you'd know the next roulette spin.
5 minutes ahead, Scott.
Just
Well,
just
Just
five.
five?
Just-
you
just
would
5
get
minutes.
kicked out real quick when they caught on to that.
Yeah, you what?
But you'd make a lot of money along the way.
Correct. Yeah. And I just always thought that would be neat. Just it doesn't have to be like you don't have to be able to just see the entire future. Just 5 minutes ahead.
Yeah, David, feel free to text us too, 612-294-6949 as we kind of work through the phone lines. Appreciate you listening to the show, though. Hope you are having a great weekend. Again, this is the Minnesota Real Estate Show. We always talk all things real estate related, mortgage related. If you're a longtime listener, you're seeing us on social media. You can see we're in a new studio here at Love 105 FM. But again, I did want to feature one other listing here. Miss Sue Marty has a nice one, Mike. This is in St. Paul, 749,900. It's a coming soon listing. 4-bed, 3-bath home, 1449 Hythe, Hythe, Hythe Street. And it's described as a classic 1913 Craftsman. It's on a fantastic St. Anthony Park lot, and it's completely remodeled, Mike. They've got fantastic woodwork, beauty throughout, hardwood floors, sun-drenched living room. It's got garage solar panels. Main floor library can be returned to an owner's suite, Sue said, with a clawfoot tub. A lot of really great photos. As you look at this one, there's just a lot of classic in this home. 749 1449 Hythe Street. And again, a lot of great updates as well. Sue's got an open house coming up this Friday. So 5 days from now, Friday, 4:30 to 6:30. And then open houses this coming Saturday and Sunday, 12 to 2. Scott, it's going live on March 3rd. But those types of homes, just so much character and something like that.
Yeah, clawfoot tub. Are you a tub guy or a shower guy?
Shower.
You are a shower guy.
Yeah, no clawfoot tubs. Mike's a clawfoot tub.
Yeah, I love it. Yep. I don't even have a shower in my house. It's just, every
Lots of
single
tubs.
bathroom's got tubs. Yeah, tubs.
Lots of tubs.
Yep.
Yeah, lots of tubs. Great. Very, very cool listing, though. Be sure to check that one out again. Sue Marty, Remax Advantage Plus has that on. We've been talking again to Jared Havens of Credit Life. We had a comment come in again. Just a lot of times people put their head in the sand when it comes to credit. They've had a bad life event happen, like you talked about, Jared, whether it be divorce, medical issues, loss of job, different things. And you gave a good analogy. I liked your analogy, how you view what you guys do.
Yeah, like the one thing that I always bring up is that a lot of times when people they've usually have gone through an event in their life that leads to damaged credit or bad credit. And the one thing that I always let people know that when it comes to Credit Life and how we approach our consultation, for one, the initial consultation, there's no charge. So there's no charge to connect with our team and actually go through and analyze what needs to be done. But I always let people know, view us as like a doctor. We're not judging in any way. We're simply there to identify and analyze the report and solve the problem. That is the very first step. And a lot of times, when we get done with that consultation, a very common, statement or feedback that we get is a sense of relief and go, wow, I wish I would have started this sooner, And so that I just feed off that. I get really excited about that. We've been doing this for over a decade, so it's not like this is a recent thing, but I just love that because for me, just who I am naturally as a person, which you guys know, I'm very positive. And I love when people take a positive action in their life. It just excites me. And so I love that when people take action that they know is going to better their position. I mean, that's why we do this every single day.
Yeah, and you have a great team. You've had a number of the other guys on air with us, but really just you put together a great team of folks who help, who again, do all types of credit issues. Anything you're seeing as kind of a common item, Jared, for folks with their credit reports? Any tips, strategies to share today?
Yeah, the biggest thing that we're seeing, the trend that we're seeing right now is higher balances on credit cards. That's a big one right now. A lot of our clients, so like, in the past, a lot of times when people would come to us, they would have maybe a couple credit cards. They'd have some maybe collections, some old late payments, things like that. So what we're seeing now is people are coming to us and they might have some blemishes like that as well, but they're carrying a lot higher balances on their credit cards.
Mm.
And so, one thing at Credit Life, we're beyond credit repair. I'll say that. And our services, what we do is we help people not only repair your past. If you have some weighing you down, we're going to work on that. But we actually coach clients on how to properly build their credit, how to manage their credit. And we also have our financial wellness service. We help people with budgeting, debt reduction strategies. And so that's one thing that we're seeing. We're spending a lot more time on that now, helping people better understand a spending plan. And then, what's coming in versus what's going out, more awareness around their money. And then from there, we say, okay, you want to buy a home? Well, check this out. If we start allocating this much per month in these areas strategically, not only is your score going to go up, we're actually reducing your overall debt load, saving you a ton of interest, and you're just going to be in a better position to buy that home. So that's a big trend that we're seeing.
I had a text message question come in from Cameron. Cameron just said, with the FHA news that came out this week, how much does that affect my pre-approval amount, Mike?
What was that question again?
With the FHA news that came out this
Oh.
week, how much does that affect a pre-approval amount for a buyer in our market?
Well, I mean, every person's situation is different. It's all about the debt to income ratio. I mean, basically, if you're saving, $75 a month on your mortgage insurance, that's probably going to give you $10,000 to $15,000 more of buying power just right there.
Yeah.
Right. Nothing else changed. Literally, just the mortgage insurance is cheaper now. Now I can be approved for another 10 to 15 grand on the purchase price.
That's good. That's super helpful.
Yeah, no, it is. Well, and you thought you kind of always figured that something would come out with FHA and VA, because with FHA, that mortgage insurance is forever.
It is. Yes.
Where like on conventional, when you get to a 20% equity position, you can drop that mortgage insurance. But with FHA, whether you're at 50% debt to, or I'm sorry, 50% equity position or not, you still have that mortgage insurance.
Jared, let's talk superpowers. What do you got there, buddy? What's a superpower for you?
I've been thinking about it, and I'm sure you guys are going to look at me and go, oh my goodness, of course he would say this. But, for me, similar to yours, Scott.
Well, I already know what you're going to say.
Well, yes, he does. 5 minutes in advance, he already has it.
You got
You
it.
guys will like it, though. It's good.
Yeah.
So for me, because like an area that I've been doing a lot of research on, just because we work with so many people, is like identifying people and how they work through problems, like subconsciously, things in their past, stuff like that. So for me, my superpower to be able to, in a way, read minds, but understand like the subconscious emotional trigger to that way of thinking, to then be able to unwind that and help people solve problems.
You'd be a woman.
Right?
I mean,
I would be.
I'm just saying
I would just be the best woman ever. You know what I mean?
It's interesting you go the psychology route, though. Why do you think you do that?
I'm just naturally, like, over the course of the years, like I've been taking a lot of classes on that, like not going to like a college, but like classes around psychology, working through trauma, problem solving, NLP. And, for me, it's because when you start to better understand like how the mind works with your events in your life and how it's all connected to how you perceive your reality today, like your decision making for real, there's a lot that goes into that. Like it can either benefit someone where they do better in their life, and they can actually hinder someone too, where they don't take action on things that they know they should. So for me, that's why I go that route. Like if I had a superpower to help people kind of go through that and solve those problems faster, that'd be amazing.
Hey, I got to give a special shout out to Jalen Mackey, who is a longtime kind of right-hand person for our team, for the Minnesota real estate team. Helps me, has been just a long-time employee, over 15 years. This past Friday night, she was awarded a very exciting award called the Out of the Shadows Award, which was voted on by all, kind of the whole Twin Cities realtor community. A great event put on by, it's called Twin Cities Real Producers. Chad Jeske does an awesome job leading this organization, and there was a big party Friday night. It was kind of like the Grammys for the realtor community in the Twin Cities here. Wonderful event at the Metropolitan. A lot of people there, probably 400 plus people there. But Jalen ended up winning this award, which is voted on by all of her peers within the real estate community. She does an awesome job. I know we posted some stuff on social media as well, but guys, super excited for her. I mean, what a kind of a big honor. She went up on stage. I mean, it was like the Grammy Awards for realtors.
Yeah, it's a little different. Instead of a red carpet, everybody wears those booties. like when you're walking through.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And you've got the open house signs that
You
tell
got the
where-
open house
that
sign.
tells you where to go to your seat. So it's similar to the Grammys, not exactly the same, but yeah, what a huge award, and what a top notch person
Right.
Jay Lynn is.
Yep.
I mean, my God. But what an honor. I mean, because there are a ton of teams, a ton of realtors.
Yeah.
Everybody has their right hand person, and Jay Lynn is definitely yours, and well deserved. It's a long time coming. It's nice to see her get it.
Yeah, pretty cool, Mike.
I would say no surprise that she won it because, like you said, she's top of the top. I don't even know what Ryan would do without her. to be
I
honest.
know, right?
Oh, you shut up shop.
Yeah,
I
right.
know.
Yeah, you close it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff. Super exciting. Again, congratulations to Chad Jeske, his entire organization. Awesome event. Again, Twin Cities Real Producers is the name of the local organization here in the Twin Cities. But it was a super fun night. Again, we've been talking, Scott, a little bit about lack of inventory here in the Twin Cities. So many buyer need emails going out. Everybody's got buyers, and there's no homes for sale. Limited number of homes. It's unbelievable. In the years that I've done this, I've never seen so many emails from all across the board, all ages.
Well, I mean,
price ranges.
think about this for someone that's maybe not in the market or hasn't really paid attention. I'll give you an example. So again, this is a week old. So if there's a new listing I didn't catch, pardon me. But a week ago in Lakeville Schools, split levels built between 1979 and 1990,
Yeah,
between 250 and 400,000, zero listings.
zero listings.
There were
Wow.
no split levels in Lakeville to go look out if you wanted to spend 350 grand. They
Right.
didn't exist.
Right.
So that's what lack of inventory means. So then, if you can put yourself in that kind of that mindset, so a new one comes on, a new split level in Lakeville comes on, built in 1995, 2,100 square feet, blah blah blah. You're interested, you love it. Guess what? There are a
So-
whole lot of other people
Right.
that have been waiting for that new listing to hit the market.
Yep.
And when you go there and it looks like a graduation party, that's because those same amount of people have got that saved.
Yeah, I mean, I see it on our end, right? So the number of applications that have come in over the last 3 to 4 weeks, the number of pre-approved buyers that just one loan officer has, you're talking probably 30 people over the last 4 weeks that are pre-approved out there looking at homes, and no one's bought anything yet.
That's right.
They're all waiting there. There's a ton of pre-approved buyers sitting there waiting, watching the market, waiting for that right house to come on. Like you said, Scott, as soon as that one that comes on, they love it. Well, there's probably how many other people that saw the same thing.
Well, yeah, and what's cool with my superpower is my buyers can say, "Well, what number I have to come in at?" And then I just say, "Well, give me 5 minutes," and then I tell them exactly, and then we go one penny over.
Yeah.
5 minutes ahead. We always like to have a little fun on Saturday mornings as you're getting your day going here. We always like to have a question, just a fun, non-real estate related question. Today's question is, what is the one superpower that you wish you had? Again, 612-294-6949 is how you can join us throughout the show and throughout the week. That phone line also comes to us during the week. If you are a buyer, a seller, a real estate investor in our market, we have a top agent on the Minnesota real estate team, wherever you might be listening to the show right now as you're out and about. And it's interesting. Again, guys, we are seeing some sales, actually some deals happen. Now, with our team, for example, we have kind of a little internal sales board where we send out sales when they're accepted. And Mike, there's stuff actually starting to happen now. There's deals happening, and you can tell the market's picking up a little bit more momentum.
Yeah, absolutely. And the closer and closer we get to that first, 50-degree and sunny day, that's just going to open up the floodgates even more as far as activity goes. But it's been, I see the future through applications, right? The applications that we take today, those are deals closing 60 days from now.
Yeah.
Right.
So we've seen that activity, right? Especially go back to early February when rates hit 5.875, ton of applications coming in. So we know it's there. We know the buyers are there. It's just a matter of when is the inventory going to come on to give them something to buy, and it's going to be very busy.
Yeah, the good news, if you are a new construction person or that does like newer, I mean, it was only a year and a half ago, excuse me, where if you wanted new construction, you were going to have to wait a year and a half. I mean, you couldn't buy a spec; they
Sure.
were all gone. Build jobs were 9 months to 15 months to build. Well, when everything kind of cooled off, now all of a sudden builders have specs. I mean, I know a builder in Lakeville that hadn't had a spec in 4 years. Now they have four,
Sure.
which means the spec is a new construction home done that you can buy and close on in 30 days. And so that's been a real big change where you don't have to wait a year and a half if you're going to go new. You can walk in and a lot of times you get a deal. And a lot of builders have done a buy down in rate. If you look at a lot of builders, you'll see 4.5% interest rate, 4.75% interest rate. Well, how can they do that? Well, it's all money, and the builders have put the money in to buy that rate down to make it more affordable.
Sure. Jared Havens, Credit Life. Again, all of our partners are at mnrealestateshow.com. Jared and his team have been a longtime partner with our show, with the team. Other thoughts for your clients, for listeners here as we're into 2023? Helpful tips?
Yeah, I'd say the biggest thing, obviously people are feeling this recession. They're feeling the inflation. And so like a lot of times based on that trend I was seeing, I've been preaching this a lot to people is that one, don't view your credit card as an extension of income. That's a big one right now. You first want to really go through and identify and get a better handle on your income versus expenses. That's number one. I would start doing that. Avoid all payday loans. Avoid these short-term debt consolidation loans. They're very popular right now. There's a ton of people just getting marketed because so many people are taking advantage of these. And what ends up happening is that a lot of times, well, one, the interest rates associated with those are significantly high. The terms are usually very short, meaning that your payments end up being higher than what you're even paying before on your credit cards. And what happens is you end up getting caught in this trap, this financial trap. And so that's something I've been talking a lot about because I just see so many people doing this right now. And so I feel like the first step is just better understand your finances. I think people forego that too often. They don't actually look at their bank statements. They just all of a sudden make decisions on emotion like, well, I need more money now because I can't afford this bill. Well, let's identify the problem. Let's take a look at your actual income versus expenses first, and then develop a plan for there, because that is going to impact credit. All these decisions impact your credit. They all go hand in hand, but that's a big one for me right now.
Yeah, really good stuff from Jared Havens with Credit Life. Awesome company. Before the break, Scott, Mike, Jared, I did want to hit on another new listing. We like listings, especially for all the buyers out there listening. Karen Lunzer with the Minnesota Real Estate Team and Remax Advantage Plus has got a nice one for $224,900. So this is a 2-bed, 1 full bath, 1 half bath property. It's a townhome, 1,230 square feet. And Karen just said it's move-in ready. It's recently updated. It's in Woodbury. It's got all new LVP, carpet paint, stainless kitchen appliances, lighting, a renovated upper bath. It's got 9-foot ceilings, a gas fireplace, master walk-in closet, walking distance to Carver Lake and trails, a new furnace and AC, Mike, in 2022. Be sure to check that one out with Karen Lunzer. Karen mentioned she is open. She's having an open house today, Sunday, from 3 to 5. And she mentioned if you are interested as an investor, rentals are permitted, just not under 180 days. So 6-month minimum term. Check that one out online though, 2679 Mallard Drive, number 0 in Woodbury. We're up against our final break here at the Minnesota Real Estate Show. 612-294-6949 is how you can join us throughout the week by phone and text. We'll be back after the break. It's nice to have listings, guys.
I know.
Listings are good,
right?
Listings are good. Equity is good.
Equity's good. Listings are good.
So do you guys like the early morning? Do you like the 8 a.m. versus the 10 a.m.?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like getting in, getting it done.
What do you guys think? Do you like the early morning? Do you like us later morning? It's funny because you guys are all super early. You guys are always early.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't, yeah, 8 o'clock in the morning. I mean, everybody but you. Everybody but you is up and moving by 8 o'clock.
No, I'm not saying that I'm not up by there. Jared, are you an early morning riser?
Oh yeah,
You are. What time do you get up?
every morning between 4 and 6.
Wow.
Yeah. That's how it is.
What's the range for?
Well, like during the week, I get up earlier. weekend is when I'll like buy
Okay.
6.
Okay. Gotcha.
So ranges.
Yeah, there was a game we were playing once where the question was, if you could change anything in your life,
Yeah,
what would it be? What would you change?
sure.
And that was what I would change. If I could change anything in my life, it would be to be someone that gets up at 4:30 or 5 o'clock.
Mm,
And I don't. I mean, I get up, relatively early, 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock. But if I could get up at 4:30,
Yeah.
think about it. You get up at 4:30, you have your workout done by 6. You're in the office by 8 o'clock.
Yeah, you're still in the office before everyone else.
That's right. And naturally, now there's been times in my career where you're freaking out about, like when I first got, I was in the office by 4:30 and getting home at 11 because you were losing your mind because you were so panicked about failing. But just in general, I'm not that person. I mean,
Yeah.
where I don't know if you guys, Tony Ashworth, who's now in Florida, but
sure.
he was always, he was up at 4 o'clock. But then you have to go to bed at 9 o'clock, and the
Yeah.
problem is I stay up till 2 a.m.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it comes down to. Though.
Yeah.
Your wake up time is strictly dependent upon your going to bed.
That's
time.
right.
Yep.
And if you can't go to bed at a good enough time, there's no way you're going to become that morning person.
That's right.
Yep. I'm up by 9.
We
God, I
did.
would give anything to be able to do that.
We did have a nice comment about Scott's pillow. If you notice, it's very soft, and you see how it's just so nice and soft for Scott, so he can't bang his hands on the table.
As I talk with my hands.
It's even green for you, Scott. We thought that was kind of fun. Hey, 612-294-6949 is how you can join us throughout the week as well. Questions, comments, thoughts, lack of inventory, seeing a lot of coming soon listings where, again, you can't show the house. In other words, you can't actually get in there to view it, but you see it online. Guys, that's a super common thing happening right now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's probably one of the best strategic things that they've implemented since I've been licensed for 25 years. And what it gives you the ability to do is it gives you the ability to test the market for just a short time.
Sure.
How many people are looking at the house? How many people online? Are they going in for additional comments? Are they?
Here we go, guys. Welcome back to the final segment here at the Minnesota Real Estate Show. 612-294-6949 is how you can join us by phone or text throughout the show. And during the week, we welcome your questions, comments, thoughts. Excited to have listings again to feature. Fong Kao has a great one, Mike, in Maple Grove. He's with, again, the Minnesota Real Estate Team in RE/MAX Advantage Plus, 11282 82nd Place North. And it is a 2-story home. It's a 4-bed, 3-bath, 3-car garage home for $590,000. And he is actually having open houses today from 1 to 3. And it's a Pulte Homes Baldwin floor plan. Again, 4 bedrooms plus a loft. Fong says that the main floor is open and spacious with a den, family room, and planning center. Easy walkability to the amenities that Maple Grove has to offer. The home is available due to the seller's job transfer only, and the sellers prefer a quick closing. So again, 11282 82nd Place North, a 2-story for $590,000. Nice listing up in the Maple Grove area. That whole Maple Grove area has seen a lot of expansion up there, guys.
Yeah, no, it is. It's done great, and it also depends on what school system you're in, because there's part of Maple Grove that's actually still Wayzata schools.
Sure.
And that area, obviously is a little bit higher buck.
Yeah, Mike Overson, Luminate Home Loans. Mike and his team, they sent out an email this week to our team introducing all of his different loan officers that he's got helping folks. You've got a really good team of folks helping people, Mike.
Yeah, our team is great. A lot of experience there, and a lot of knowledge. Willing to help out wherever we can help out at. So whether it's a team training, whether it's an open house, whether you have something going on the weekend, we're here to help. So we try to make ourselves available as much as possible, and help the momentum here as we go into the spring.
Yeah, again, as Scott was talking about earlier with median sales price, we'll share that number as well. And I know we talked a little bit last week about that, Scott and Mike. But when you look at that, first thing, days on market, which is kind of interesting. Days on market is up significantly year over year. So days on market is up almost 46%. So 60 days on market is the average time right now, which is interesting to me. But then the median sales price, if we look at the median sales price, the January numbers came out and we're up to 342. That's up about 2.7% compared to last year at the same time in January. And again, I think that's partly because of just the shortage of inventory. So 342 average sales price, that may sound very high for folks, Mike. How are people affording that?
We talk about interest rates being high, right? But go back to when Scott, when did you get in the business?
98. So in
98.
99, they were at 8.25, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
And you had a ton of sales going on, I think early, right? I
Yep.
think 2000, 2001. I mean, you're over 100 sales, weren't you?
Yep. 111 in 90, actually 111 in 2000, 99 or 2000. I can't remember.
And when rates are around that 8% range. So we just got extremely spoiled with rates being down in the twos and the threes, right? It was one of those things where that's not normal. It became the new normal because it lasted way longer than everyone thought it was going to be. I mean, we had a 2-year run of rates, hovering around 3%. I mean, that's just crazy. Now we're back out of that. Now we're back in a normal range. So when you're back to normal, if people can afford a house back in 99 and 2000 at 8.5, 8.25, coming today, anywhere between 6 and 7 is where we've been bouncing at for the last few months. I mean, that's still affordable,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the difference is if you look back at well, you don't even have to go back to 99, but if you if you look back at let's say 2000 or 2001, interest rates were in that 7-8 range, but the median sale price was probably 220. So that's the problem is we've had such so we're back to $40,000 median sale price at the same time that we had interest rates go from 2.8 to 7. So it's the combination, and then you throw in cost of groceries, cost of gas, inflation. So everybody's getting hit from all kinds of angles. And we've talked about it on the show before. You had trillions of dollars in refinances going on when people were going to 2.8%, plus a flood of buyers that bought everything they could when rates were at 2.8%. Then they go to 7.5. Well, if I refinance my house at 2.5 or 2.6%, I'm not going anywhere. If I just bought a house at 2.8%, I'm not going anywhere. So the meat and potatoes part of real estate, the fun part of real estate, hey, let's get a better house, let's get a bigger house, let's move to this area. That's kind of gone away a little bit while people watch and see what's going to happen.
Jared Havens, Credit Life, as we kind of heading to the home stretch here of the Minnesota Real Estate Show. With your company, talk a little bit, how does it work from kind of the numbers standpoint? I mean, what does it cost people to get involved? Why would they reach out to you guys? Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so everything we do initially starts with the consultation. There's no charge. And the goal of that consultation is to better understand your specific situation so we can really develop a game plan of what needs to be done to help you get to your goals. And then from there, we have 3 different programs. We have all the way up to $135 a month, which is our mortgage readiness guarantee plan, meaning that if you come to us and you're looking to work on your credit and you have a goal of wanting to buy a home, we'll actually guarantee our work within 8 months. If we don't get there, we'll work for free for another 8 months. So
Cool.
we back that up with a guarantee. And then we have our Credit Life VIP program, which is $99.99 a month. And that incorporates a lot of the same things. It just doesn't involve the guarantee. So that's just more of someone, maybe they only need a few months work. Maybe they're not necessarily going to buy a home in the next 8 months, but they know they want to work on this. We have a price point for that. And then with AI technology that's out right now, which is amazing, we've completely embraced it. And we developed a complete DIY credit repair platform that's $39.99 a month. That also includes education included with it. And literally this technology will automatically read your credit report based on what we've taught it. It automatically creates the credit repair letters for you based on what's in there, what should be sent out. It does everything for you, this AI technology. So it's actually amazing. It's perfect for someone, I'd say, that they're either a DIYer, maybe just financially, or they're tight. And so it's a phenomenal option. It's $39.99 a month. And that includes the online credit monitoring access that you need. It includes that all-into-one price, which is amazing.
So why not, similar to owners that just say, look, I'm not going to hire a realtor. I'm just going to sell by owner. Why for those folks that say, look, I've got my bank will help me with it, or I'm going to do it on my own.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, in full transparency, I would say, small percentage of people actually correctly address their credit in a way that will cause a positive impact, and it's just because it's a very confusing process.
Sure.
And you have to think of it like this. We're busy, right? We're naturally just busy people. We got a lot going on. We have a family. We're working, and you end up naturally kind of putting things off. And I've seen people who have attempted to work on their credit on their own, even with the tools, and they end up like doing nothing for months. And it's like, look, this is something that, one, you're getting professionals doing it on your behalf. It's being done right. And in addition to that, it's like, it takes that pressure off you. You know what I mean? So I think that's a big one. Another big thing is you have to understand, like with us in our programs, we're tailored towards achieving goals. We're not like a credit repair company, meaning that, oh, hey, we're just going to work on trying to get these things removed and then set you on your way. No, we'll help you repair your past and help you repair. But our program is specifically developed to actually help you achieve that goal that you're looking, like buy a home. And there's a lot involved in that. If we can help you improve your debt to income ratio, increase your buying power, help you save for down payment. I mean, we do all those things in our program. So it really puts someone in the driver's seat, which I think is huge.
Yeah, again, Jared Havens with Credit Life, awesome partner with the Minnesota Real Estate team, the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Best way for people to connect with you if they have interest.
Yeah, I would say just go to our website. It's creditlife.com, no T, so CREDILIFE.com. You can visit the Minnesota Real Estate Show website as well. You can find us on there as a partner. And the last thing I'll give you is my direct line. If you want to text me, I can get you connected with myself or someone on my team. It's 612-444-3426.
One more time.
612-444-3426.
Mike, did you share your superpower with us here at Love 105 FM?
The easy one for me. I've actually thought about this before, and most of the time it's on long trips because I would like to just be able to teleport. So
that's a good one.
right?
That's a good one.
So you're up on the. I always think of our ice fishing trip. We go to the Lake of the Woods every single year for a big ice fishing trip. That drive home sucks.
Yeah.
6.5 hours.
a
You're
long
tired. You haven't showered for 4 days because you're on the sleepers, all this stuff. I just want to get home and shower and just relax a little bit, right? It's like, boom. If I could just, snap my fingers and bam, I'm home. Perfect.
Yeah, that would be a cool one. What about yours, Ryan?
Superpower, I would say mine is if I could, when you're going to bed, if I could lay down and sleep for like 5 minutes, and then that's it. That's all I need. I wake up, I'm fully refreshed. I feel like I got 10 hours of sleep, and I could just keep charging forward.
Yeah, that would be yours. I mean,
That would be.
that would be.
I
that-
just sleep. You know
that
what I mean?
literally would be your superpower. How can I be more productive? Well,
Do more.
you know what? How can I do more? Well, if I didn't have to sleep at all.
What a waste
I'm
of
surprised.
time.
I'm surprised you put 5 minutes in there. I'm surprised. It's like I don't want to sleep. How can I just eliminate sleep from my life?
Sleep. No sleep. I love to sleep. It's funny though how different everybody is wired. Different people that I know. Some people who can function with 5 hours of sleep and they function really well. I need 8 hours of sleep.
Yep.
I mean, I just need 8 hours of sleep. You feel everything feels off when you're not sleeping, Mike.
Yeah. I mean, I'm the same way too. Mine is if I'm working out in my regular schedule, I need more sleep. If I go a week where it's like I'm gonna take a week off because I need whatever this and that, I can go 5 hours, 6 hours, feel completely fine.
Yeah. I need 6 hours. I mean, 5-6 hours, I'm fine.
Oh my gosh.
If I get more than that, if I get more, well, like if I get, let's say for some reason he crashes like 10 hours, I feel like lethargic the next day.
Yeah.
I mean, I do. I
Too
don't.
much sleep.
It's too much sleep.
Yep.
Well, that's why they came out with the what are the things on your wrist?
The bracelets?
The bracelets. That track your optimum sleep. So as
Sure.
soon as you've gotten the optimum amount of sleep, it buzzes you and wakes you up.
It wakes you up.
So it could be 6.5 hours.
It also brushes your teeth.
Brushes your teeth. My biggest problem with sleep is once I fall asleep, I'm fine. But I heard that the average person takes 7 minutes to fall asleep. It's at least 2 hours for me.
Oh
man.
my
I mean,
gosh.
at least.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah. I mean, I lay there for at least 2 hours, and then I fall asleep. Once I fall asleep, I sleep. But I just can't. I cannot shut my
See,
brain.
that was a good topic. I knew it'd get some discussion going. If nothing else, trying to think of something.
So we need to get Scott in some sort of sleep some program
Yeah,
here.
sleep
Yes.
study.
We got to figure out how to get you to sleep faster.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Get you to sleep faster,
Sure.
Scott. You know.
Yeah, I cannot. It's always been like that too. I don't know why. Well, that's why when I first got into real estate, when I say I was out of the house at 4:30, I just was. I mean, I couldn't sleep. So I just was finally like, well, I'm just going to go.
Yeah, the again, home buyers, home sellers, real estate investors. I did want to let you know we've got some great seminars coming up. If you go to mnrealestateteam.com, click on the seminars link, you'll see we've got a upcoming seminar about VRBOs. If you are a real estate investor interested in that market, kind of the short-term rental market, David Meyer with the Minnesota Real Estate Team is leading a great panel discussion about this, specifically on how to get into that market, how to become that type of owner of a property. Maybe it's a cabin up north. Maybe it's something here locally that you're looking at doing. Maybe wherever it might be. A lot of experience from this panel. So we do that seminar. We do our investment property 101.5 with Mike Overson and his team. Learning more about buying investment property here in the Twin Cities, fix and flip, buy and hold. And then we also do a first time home buyer seminar. Mike, you and your team do a great job with those seminars with us.
Yeah, seminars are great. No pressure, all information. Get your questions answered. And you got experts right there, right? Ready to help. Get your questions answered live. It's great.
Before we wrap up for today at the Minnesota Real Estate Show, I had one other listing. Ashley Hineker with the Minnesota Real Estate Team has this one in Wisconsin. It's 1645A Niles Lane in Centuria, Wisconsin, and it's on Lake Lovelace, which is right off Balsam Lake. Scott, price on this one is only $300,000. It's a 2-bed, 1 full bath home. It's got a ton of great updates. Ashley shared kind of some home highlights with this one. Again, 1645A Niles Lane in Centuria. A lot of electrical updates, a new electric baseboard heaters. It's a 4-season operation, a home and cabin. It's got ultra high speed 1 gigabit internet speeds available. From a plumbing perspective, it's got a new 50 gallon electric water heater. Exterior, it's got a hot tub, Scott, professionally installed by Cal Spa of Woodbury. It's uniquely close to the water. It's only 35 feet from the shore, closer than any other cabin on the lake. Last thought on this one, it says that it's uniquely grandfathered in to allow total reconstruction on the exact site without moving away from the waterfront to the new setback. Be sure to check this out again. Even if you look at the pictures online, super cool property. Ashley Hineker has that one listed again, 1645 Niles Lane in Centuria, Wisconsin. 300,000, Mike. A nice cabin. You need
Wow.
a cabin. You could VRBO that.
That's what I was thinking. The VRBO on
There
that
you go.
property.
Being that close to the water and being grandfathered in where you can rebuild, where you don't have to meet the new setback, that's a big deal.
That is a huge deal. That's
Guys, it's
amazing.
been a fun show at the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Mr. Walmering, last thoughts for people?
I was thinking of a superpower for you. You could be captain attention span.
Captain,
Where like your attention span could be 45 seconds.
Yes.
It's just like triple that thing.
Triple it, Scott. Triple.
That's your superpower.
Yes, I love it. Mike, last thoughts?
Reach out to us. Great time to buy. You're getting a better deal on the house now. You can always refinance to a lower rate in the future. So still a good time to buy.
Yeah, you are always welcome throughout the week, 612-294-6949, to call us, text us, visit mnrealestateshow.com if you're a buyer, seller, investor. We've got a team of agents all across the Twin Cities that knows your area, your neighborhood. We work all price ranges. We're here to help you however we can. We make the process fun. And it's a very low type of sales pitch. So thanks for joining us here at the Minnesota Real Estate Show. We're going to be back next Sunday here on Love 105 FM. Hope everybody has a great rest of this weekend. Take care. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Love 105 FM. Scott, Jared, nice work, young man.
Thank you.
Let that beard go. I like the beard.
We're gonna take it all the way. Vikings,
Oh,
Ragnar.
Scott, what do you think of the pillow?
Love the pillow.
Love the pillow.
No banging.
Yeah, no banging on the table. Hey, thank you, everybody. Mike, great job, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Ryan.
No more Celsiuses for you.
Yeah, I cap it at 4 a day. So
He's cut off. See everybody. Have a great weekend. Take care.